Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the annual, I think, 6th annual Golden Geeks. I am the Clown Prince of Podcasts, the Prophet of Regret, Trasnell, and I'm joined by
the honored guest, Kirklin Patzer.
I'm the Animar Caster, Dylan Musk.
I'm the Silver Geek, Taylor Field.
Well, there you go, Silver Geek. Tell them where we can find us.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us in the search bar with your internet connection. GeekVerse.ca is our home base.
Oh, you're just going to stop there. You fucking
Geekverse
idiots.
Cast.
Get in the search bar.
GeekVerse Cast is our Twitter. Hey, GeekVerse
Oh,
Podcast on
damn.
the Facebook.
Yeah.
What do you got, Travis?
Lots of stuff coming out. We just dropped a Halo review. The last Harry Potter retrospective will be dropping the day after this. Then the day after that will be SideQuest. Still, because this is dropping on the Sunday. What are you talking about SideQuest coming up on the last week of March there?
I am going to be joined by the one and only Kirklin Patzer, the honored guest. Main topic's going to be Kirby. We're both picking up Kirby, which comes out... Technically, I guess it actually just came out like 11 minutes ago.
Gotta go, guys. See you
Download it on
later.
your Switch if you want.
Whoa.
When we're recording this behind the curtains. So that's the main topic. We'll talk about Warhammer. We'll talk about just several games. Ghostbusters got announced. So just a lot of video game goodness.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got that going on, and then next week you'll have another Halo review, and then you'll have the Morbius review. Man, can't wait for that.
Got my tickets.
Yeah, me too. I wonder if Morbius is going to be making any appearances next year in any of those lists. I predict maybe one, but this is the Golden Geek. So we had 2 Golden Geeks. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be revealing the winners of them, the percentages. We cast our votes, but as we've said before, now we let the patrons vote and decide. So I'll tell you the percentages, and then I will kind of go back and forth. So I will say the best actor for the overall, and then I'll also give the MCU one and stuff like that. So I'm going to knock out a few of the MCU ones because these ones didn't have any of the other... They weren't in these categories, obviously. So 3 ones... Or was it only 2? Oh, was it only 1? Okay, so there's only 2 categories that we did for the MCU one that we didn't do for Golden Geek. So we did Best New Costume.
Oh,
Best New Costume. The winner of that was Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, with 70% from WandaVision. Falcon and Spider-Man were tied at 15%. So me and Taylor voted for Wanda. Kirkland, you voted for Spider-Man. I probably could have been with you, but I just need to see a bit more of the Spider-Man one. It was so little at the end there, you know? But you voted for it, so you can't agree.
I agree with your
agree.
mindset. My childhood memories of just that, having Spider-Man on my walls, white and... or fucking...
What
blue and red, those colors,
Oh!
you know, like that suit,
Papa!
just to have that finally on the Tom Holland Spider-Man, which that was great to have.
Yeah, I'm excited because his legs are really shiny, and I want to see what that looks like in the daytime and stuff. But and then the other one we had for MCU was Best MCU Debut. This, I guess I'll read off the nominees. I should do that first. Was Florence Pugh in Black Widow, Haley Steinfeld in Hawkeye, and Simu Lee in Shang-Chi, who ended up winning it with 50%.
whoa.
Florence Pugh is just behind him with 41%, and Haley Steinfeld just the old 9%. But this is where the patrons make a difference, because me and Kirkland, we both vote for Pugh, but
Two boys.
Taylor and the patrons, they were the one that pushed Simu Lee over the top. So Taylor, I know you were kind of bummed out Simu Lee didn't get a Best Actor nod. So is this why he made the win here for you?
Yeah, I had to put him on the board, so...
I
That's
think I
fair.
would have voted for Kate Bishop, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Okay, so let's go the best supporting actors and actresses. So I'll go over to the overall Golden Geeks one. So the nominees for this, or let's start with, because I have some questions to ask here. Best supporting actor: Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, John Cena, David Harbour, and Oscar Isaac. Andrew Garfield took this one home with 57%. Tobey Maguire 31%, and John Cena 12%. So the other ones did not get the win. Now I have some questions, but I'm going to ask after. So then in the MCU, the best supporting was Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and then Daniel Brew for Baron Zemo. Andrew Garfield won here again, 62, and then Tobey 38. Kirk and Patzer, I have to ask you, why?
I knew you were gonna ask me.
Why in the MCU one did you vote for Toby, but in the overall you voted for Andrew? I was very confused when I got your votes.
I'm glad you brought this up because I
Yes.
prepared my script here. Honestly, I think the performance that Andrew had as a supporting character in No Way Home was better than Toby's. Like I think he just got more time to shine with like his emotion, especially catching MJ, Michelle Jones, in memory of his Gwen Stacy. So all that was stellar, but him and Toby were so close for me. But I just had to give Andrew for like the main Golden Geeks because it's just like a main performance-wise comparison. I have to lean it for him, but just the fact that I have Tobey Maguire like a part of the MCU, which is something I never would have imagined. I already mentioned like they were already so close for me, just the nostalgia, my childhood memories. Like as I was just talking about the Spider-Man that was on my walls, like that was Tobey's Spider-Man. So just to have him back, I had to give him I'm glad I had the opportunity to split the votes because I would have been upset if it was just one or the other.
I'll say that's the most Taylor-filled answer of all time, but that's fine. But Taylor and Dylan, you voted for the patron. So me on the overall Golden Geeks, me and Kirklin voted for Andrew Garfield, along with most of the patrons. But you guys, with a couple other patrons as well, voted for Toby. Why did Toby get the best supporting actor vote for you guys?
It's fucking Toby, man. He speaks for himself. It's Toby. He's a legend. I think, honestly, it's just... I have such a deep nostalgia for that performance and that character from him that it probably, even if, what Kirkland said is all correct there of Garfield getting maybe some more emotional scenes, a little more screen time perhaps. But, man, just that deep nostalgia for me, it really cuts just so much deeper than Garfield could have, I think. But they're both fantastic, so it's close, but I think I'm happy with my choice, but not sad that he didn't win the overall vote.
Taylor, you in that same category there?
You can't get more supportive than him literally supporting up Goblin's glider, stopping Tom Holland from doing something horrible, right? I mean,
that's mathematical.
It is. It's factual, mathematical.
You didn't save Zendaya, though.
No, he didn't. But he saved Tom Holland, the main actor. So, I mean, what more could he ask for?
Yeah, for me,
the star of the movie.
As I've said before, some about Andrew Garfield, No Way Home, I left that thinking the unthinkable that he might be my favorite Spider-Man. I always had him ranked last, but there was something in that movie. I was like, God damn, Andrew Garfield just delivered on all fronts. And yeah, this stuff, all the Gwen beats were just phenomenal. So he kind of had... I don't think there was any other chance of me. And I love Toby. That would have been the other one. And all these other people were great. Cena, Isaac. But Garfield, he just delivered on so many fronts of that movie. It's a bit of like a kind of like what would they? Not a rebuttal movie. What would be like again, revenge? Like not revenge, but like
rebound.
Kind of a rebound. But that's not the word either. But thank you. That is the word. Redemption right there for Amazing Spider-Man 2. And yeah, I thought Garfield was great. So he takes home both awards in the MCU and the overall Golden Geeks.
That's out on stream. Where is it where is it streaming in Canada?
You can rent it right now, and then in a month you can get it on like DVD or something like that. And then I think the way it goes to Netflix and then Disney Plus. So yeah. So it's gonna be next year.
Have you guys watched it? Have you picked it up?
I have picked it up. Yeah, I had to. Yeah,
nice.
And then I'll be buying the physical as well. So
yeah. I'm very excited to watch that one again.
Best supporting actress. Let's do this. So for the MCU, it was Florence Pugh and Black Widow. I can't remember their actual names, but the woman who plays Echo in Hawkeye and the Xiling, who is Shang-Chi's sister in Shang-Chi. Florence Pugh ran away with this one. It was 77%. Only 20. A few votes for Xiling, no votes for Echo. Taylor, Kirkland, myself, we all voted for Pugh in this one with nothing any. You weren't swaying at all in the MCU one?
No, loyal to the Pew Boys. Yeah.
Well, you say that, but I don't know how loyal you really are. Because now
here we go.
Let's hear you spin your wheel in this one.
You're gonna give me shit for all these picks.
Because in the overall best supporting actress, Florence Pugh and Black Widow, Anna Taylor-Joy, and last night, so Anna de Armas in No Time to Die, Danielle McQuire for Ratcatcher and Suicide Squad, and then Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica in Dune. There was a three-way tie for last place with Anna, and Daniela, all getting 8%. So all getting 8%. And then Rebecca Ferguson coming in with a big 25%, but not as big as Pugh's 50%, getting the win. So Kirkland Patzer, who calls himself a hashtag Pew Boy along with myself, did not vote for Florence Pugh. You and Dylan both voted for Rebecca Ferguson. You guys can explain your actions there.
Well, yeah. I'm just going to cut in here. And if this was Yelena in both Hawkeye and Black Widow, that changes things, but it's not. We're talking strictly Black Widow. So to me, it was a bit easier to make that decision with that in mind.
Yeah, Rebecca Ferguson. I love her as an actress. She's phenomenal as well. So I knew that she could bring in that performance, but honestly, when I saw Dune, she just completely stood out for me. Like she was just such a bigger supporter of our main character, I think, than Florence was. It's weird to say that, weird to have those words coming out of my mouth, but honestly, she was just so phenomenal. Like I was rooting for her, but then there was moments when I wasn't sure if I could trust her, just through Paul's shoes there. And just the performance, like when he was in that room with I forget the powerful lady's name, but that box scene when she's just outside there, like she's literally just standing there as an actress, just giving a performance without saying any words, and like I just felt so like I got drawn in emotionally in that scene, and I think she just I love Florence Pugh in Black Widow. She was amazing. She carried that movie for me, but yeah, when I compare the two, it's just better overall supporting role. I have to give it to Rebecca Ferguson.
So I thought Rebecca Ferguson did great. Obviously, I voted for Florence Pugh. I think the reason is because that movie, she kept that movie from being a fail for me, Florence Pugh, which, that's what the good thing, I guess, that Rebecca Ferguson has going is Dune's a much better movie. It's up there, but Pugh had such a strong performance, stronger than I thought, between being funny, between being emotional, very good comedic beats as far as like feeling natural and stuff. So yeah, she saved that movie for me big time. She's the only reason I will go back and watch that movie. We're Dune, she is a great reason, but I'll watch that for many, many other reasons. And maybe she gets a bit more screen time, but she was still great. If it wasn't Pugh, it was going to be her. But Taylor, you were the sole vote for Ratcatcher. Why was that?
Whoa.
She was just fucking awesome. I think she was great. I love the performance. One of my like her along with Polka Dot Man, one of my few favorite things about the new Suicide Squad movie.
One of my few favorite things.
Polka Dot Man is like a huge
unnecessary
dose, like huge dose of that. Everything with his mom, fucking brilliant. But I think she's fantastic, and she's a great actress, and she might be in the new Fast and the Furious movie. So yeah,
big deal.
Well,
Fun character.
There you go. Let's do a Golden Geeks category that's not in the MCU one, because there probably wasn't enough movies. Worst movie. The nominations were Old, Prisoners of the Ghostland, Venom 2, Hitman White's Bodyguard, and Don't Breathe 2. With a whopping 55%, Venom 2 took this bad boy home. Hitman's Bodyguard and Don't Breathe had 18%. Old had 9%. Prisoners of the Ghostland, no one thought it was worst movie of the year. Just skated by. So
Nick Cage fucking takes it again.
Do you guys think that this is because more people have, like, probably everyone who voted has seen Venom 2, but no, like, people haven't seen these other ones?
I think it's that, and I think people just want to make a statement of like, fuck these Sony Marvel movies, and people do enjoy it. I think people do like them. I know like April likes them, who's on After 9, but I think there's, as far as I think the crowd that we've accumulated, I think there's two things we've accumulated. We've accumulated people that don't like Marvel Sony and people that hate Jared Leto's Joker, and I'm very happy about that. But I'm always happy to welcome people that feel the exact opposite way, because it's good conversation. But Kirklin, I do respect you. My heart, I had to vote Venom just because it assaulted me so much. But Old is probably the correct answer, but I just had to shoot Venom's way. But yeah, Old is something to.
Old is one of those movies I definitely, as I was voting, I'm like, okay, this probably won't win just because not everybody's seen it, and that's a good thing. I don't think you should go check out this movie. It's not good to watch. It's a time. It was a fun review, I guess.
Yeah, it was a good time. Another one that was just in the Golden Geeks one overall. Best score and soundtrack. Dune, The Green Knight, Spider-Man No Way Home, Last Night in Soho, and No Time to Die. This one was relatively close for a few of them. No Way Home with 12%. No Time to Die with 5%. Green Knight, unfortunately, getting a big old 0. and Dune taking it home with 50%. Soho coming in with 33%. I will say I did vote for Soho uncharacteristically because usually I do vote for the scores just because that's kind of, I'm like, oh, it's pure, it's new and stuff. But this last night in Soho score, I listened to it today. I still listen to it constantly. I think it complemented that movie so well. But I have no problem with Dune taking this one home because it is that's a big win there. Kirkland, Dylan, you both voted for Dune along with some of our other patrons.
Yeah, I definitely had Soho in my thoughts. Like, you know, the soundtrack, I'm with you, Travis. Like, even just earlier today, like, I just had that Downtown song stuck in my head. The Anya Taylor-Joy version just pops up on my Spotify just because I've listened to it so many times. The algorithm just plays it in the different radios I listen to. And it's phenomenal. It's honestly put, like, a different genre of music on my radar, and it's awesome. And it's great when you get that from a movie. But
one vote away, you could have made the winner, but you know, it's
just
whatever.
Dunes, like, that was one of the biggest standouts for me in that movie, which is insane because there's so much going on in that movie. The world building, the scale, the acting. But, like, honestly, I think the biggest notice for me was the soundtrack. What was the score? Like, it just, Hans Zimmer absolutely took me to another realm while I was in that theater with the extreme audio and everything. It was hitting me under the skin. So, had to vote it.
Yeah,
I respect you, though, for going Soho, Travis.
I was just so immersed with doing soundtrack, but everything Kirkland said, I'll just ×2 on that.
No, I really like the score, but this one made sense as far as Taylor. You're a huge lover of No Way Home, and that's the one that got your vote.
Oh yeah, I mean, you were sending me like some of the tracks before, like earlier on. Like I was just like
To
flabbergasted.
clarify,
with
before the
score.
movie came out, I sent him some leaked tracks.
Yes,
I was just beating around the bush. I didn't want to like
Tracks,
label
Poppy?
it.
Put it in your computer.
Pull me in that alleyway where he talked to me about that original Spider-Man movie back at Target. Yeah, just
true.
the soundtrack is just fantastic. It's just absolutely legendary. Once that Toby and Andrew score kicks in from their respective films, it's just absolutely great. I've listened to the Dr. Octopus like Overpass score probably like, I don't even know, 200 times on
200 times. I can't wait for Spotify
I
Rap
just
next year.
repeat. Now, even on YouTube when I'm at work, just repeat.
believe 'em.
Repeat. It's so good. It just has so many good elements and just that. Oh, it's good.
Well, let's do this. I'm going to do something uncharacteristic just because I think it's a little fun. Best villain for the MCU and overall in the Golden Geeks. Willem Dafoe takes both those awards with
Thank
58% exactly in both those.
Bring me up. I know you're gonna.
Well, no, I got to bring up two people, both you and Dylan Musk, because Dylan Musk, you voted for Gabriel. I was very surprised that you threw Gabriel vote. You weren't alone because Gabriel, let me pull the points here. He had 16%. He was in second place for the villain vote. He was 16%. Candyman and Baron were 8, and then unfortunately Steppenwolf did not get any 0. So Gabriel, there's some other people voting for Gabe. Why did you throw your vote on Gabriel in the overall Golden Geeks?
I think I was feeling rebellious, honestly. I feel like in hindsight, maybe I should. I don't know. I feel like, Dafoe, when I thought about it more, was like he really has to share that screen time with a lot of other characters. And as much as it's fun to see him again, just if in that movie in isolation, it maybe isn't as strong a villain as Gabriel, which is a character that just surprised me and grossed me out and terrified me all at once. So, yeah, you know what? I've talked myself back into it. I'm happy with my vote. I'm glad. Plus, where else was I going to vote for Malignant? I felt like maybe I needed to throw in a bone somewhere.
So, I respect Dylan Musk's choice, especially I think overall,
Okay.
Gabriel's a very interesting villain. But Kirklin, the MCU one, decided to throw a vote on Ultron from What If, is who you voted for.
That was
Over Willem Dafoe's Green
Okay.
Goblin.
You're just glassing over. Okay, I'm gonna bring you
I ain't
back to my
glassing over anything.
Andrew Garfield reasonings is the exact same for Norman here. Like, just overall as a villain, he was so much better. Like on a big screen, so that's why he got my main Golden Geek.
But you vote for the Baron. No, I'm joking.
But honestly, the idea of what that Ultron was, like, in the What If series is just so terrifying to me. Like, nothing, like, he literally broke through time to just beat the shit out of the Watcher. And, like, that's a pretty big deal. Like, Willem Dafoe, he's getting one shot by this character. But,
One
for the overall
shot?
performance.
It's not all power
No, he's
performance.
laughing.
Oh, yeah.
He's laughing as he gets hit.
Okay, we'll get to the best scene yet, Taylor. Just you wait.
Now you're just throwing
I have seen that episode of What If, and I can agree with that. It is a fun character.
Yeah. Thank you, Dylan.
Another category that was just in the overall Golden Geeks: Best Visuals, The Green Knight, Last Night in Soho, Dune, No Time to Die, and Justice League. Another close one. Dune did take this award with 34%, but only a mere votes away because Soho and Green Knight had 25%. And pretty much the voting, they were both like 1 or 2 votes away. So it was a very close one. Justice League and Bond tied at last place with 8%. But yeah, I personally... what did I vote? I voted for Green Knight because I love that movie overall. That was my favorite movie for a while. But that movie, I think usually the visuals vote gets my vote. Is if you could mute the movie and be stunned the entire time, that's that. Dune, I think, has that, but there's still times where there's some dialogue going on. Same with Soho. Green Knight is just constantly like a smorgasbord of like, this film looks like a painting on screen. I'm sad it didn't get any love this year more that I wish it got in some of the categories. But so yeah, I threw my vote there. Kirkland, you were with me that threw on the Green Knight vote.
Yeah, I definitely had those thoughts where I was hoping there'd be more situations that I could give Green Knight my vote, but out of everything on this list, like there's some big hitters on this list, but still, I think Green Knight's just, I don't even know how to describe it, just like the certain color palettes that they had on screen at a time, like the different detail of like their tunics and stuff had, of like the nobles, and just a lot of attention to detail with the colors that was on my screen. It had me in awe. Like it was gorgeous, and yeah, I feel like for a movie too, for a movie that had like certain night scenes, there was still it didn't feel like I was just watching like a dark screen where I was trying to see what was going on. Like the light balance was really, really good.
Mm-hmm. And then Taylor and Dylan, you guys threw your votes on Dune.
I mean, it just explains itself. You see those worms? Oh my god!
See those worms?
A lot of sand. Yeah, I think it's just it's the scale. It's once again how immersed I was in this world. The little details of just like each room, the things in the background, the outfits the characters are wearing, but then obviously just those zoom out scenes when you see like kind of that pyramid town on Arrakis, or when that one ship is just like elevating out of the water. That's just amazing. So yeah, I mean when they go to that weird planet with the guy who's like throat singing, you see like it's great. Just visually, I don't know, a masterpiece. I can picture so many moments in my head. Just anytime I think about it, it's stuck with me for sure.
Mm-hmm. Best scene, Taylor. Are you looking forward to this one?
Oh yeah.
So let's start with the MCU one. We'll make a wait for the other one. Best scene: Spider-Man, Statue of Liberty, Love, Persevering from WandaVision, and Doctor Strange, What If ending. We were very close to the only 100% vote for one, but that didn't happen here. But still, Statue of Liberty took the win over here. Kirklin Patzer, of course, ruined it by voting for Love, Persevering. We almost
You're
had
a hypocrite. You're a fucking hypocrite.
We almost had a unanimous vote for this. Every single patron voted for the Statue of Liberty scene. Me and Tim voted for this. But Kirklin, why did you vote for it here, but then not vote for it?
I mean, same argument for my last two. Just overall, but honestly, the Love, Persevering moment, it's a moment that it really hit me like personally, of just different family members or something in my life that just for whatever reason just big attachment in my love category, and just that line delivery from Vision to Wanda in that moment. Like, I'm already so in it for these characters, but just the effect of what that line had for just me personally in my own life, it stuck with me. I still think of it like all the time. It's such a great line, and I couldn't really vote for WandaVision too much else in the show, and it was just such an amazing scene, and I think it deserves to at least be in the contendership with these other ones, so I wanted to drop my vote on it. But why I voted for the other one in the other category is self-explanatory.
Well, let's get to that one. We have the best scene for the overall Golden Geeks, the Green Goblin hallway scene, Statue of Liberty, Gabriel in the prison, Turn to Stone, the ending of Riot, and Bond sacrifices himself. 59% going to a No Way Home scene, Taylor. and it's going to the Statue of Liberty scene. You were the only person that voted for the hallway scene. I'm sorry, Taylor.
Motherfuckers.
No Way Home with 59%, Hallway with 8, The Prison with 8, which I thought should got more love, and then Bond Sacrifice at 25. I was kind of surprised. I guess I wasn't surprised. I thought No Way Home would actually get a bit more. I was surprised that we got some of those other straggling votes. But this, for me, is just, again, when that scene happened, I was in awe of, like, we have 3 Spider-Man talking to each other. They're flipping off each other. It was just, I literally remember in the theater when they started to run off the ramp. I just was laughing to myself in joy because I couldn't believe this was real. This did not feel real. It felt like something you would see in a comic book, in an animated show where it's like, you can never pull this off. And the fact that it is real, and every time I put on No Way Home, like, man, this is an actual movie that happened. They pulled this off. They did it. Bravo. It's a scene that I think is the reason why everyone wants more of them. Just them talking about their web fluids and, like, I've fought aliens and the back cracking. Like, it was just perfect. This was always, to me, the second I saw the scene, to me, there was no competition, whatever you could have really put up there, in my opinion. So, Kirklin and Dylan, you also voted for this. Any words on the Statue of Liberty scene?
I mean, you nailed it. That was very well said. And, you know, this is another category that had a lot of heavy hitters. I could make an argument for, I think, all of them on this list. I had Bond, like, really close up there, but for all the reasons you laid out, Travis, I couldn't justify not giving in the vote here. But so, yeah.
Yeah, I think going back to our nomination episode, I think that one took the longest for us to decide, and it is because there is a lot you can throw out there when it comes to a scene. Rather than, like, you know, if you're talking about visuals, like, you're just naming a movie, you know, you can really get granular with it. So it took a long time, but even with that, I don't know, I still felt like this one just called to me. I didn't even really think about it. It just seemed like the right thing to pick after all was said and done.
Taylor, you voted for the hallway scene. One last.
I got no fucking other things to say. Everything you want to revisit what I said, fans, you can go check out the Noms video. I put up my walls and my guns and everything.
Used up a lot of energy.
Yeah, it's expended. What the fuck? It's expended.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like the
well,
expense.
at least
fought by your side, Taylor.
I appreciate that.
I do say every time it pops up on Twitter, I think of Taylor when I see people talking about it, so that's good. But I will say, at least you got nominees. Whenever people look back at the Golden Geeks 2022 nomination, say, you know what, that Gotham Hallway scene, it made it.
You know what? To all the people that didn't vote for it, you were strong enough to have it all, but you were too fucking weak to take it.
Oh, no. Speaking of some strongness, let's talk about some strong performances this year. Let's talk about Best Actress in the MCU first. Elizabeth Olsen in WandaVision, Haley Steinfeld in Hawkeye, and Taylor, what's the actress's name for Loki? And I always forget.
Sylvie.
No, I know. No, what's her real life name? I know her character name is Sylvie.
I just know her as Sylvie, to be
Boom,
honest.
I'm not alone. Elizabeth Olsen won this with 84%. Wasn't too surprised. And Haley and Sylvie both got 1 vote. Taylor, you voted for Sylvie. I think that's partially just your love. I don't know if that was actually because the acting.
It's existent. The acting was great. She's a fine actress. Fine actress.
Okay. Also, I forgot to mention, the best scene in the MCU got 92%, most, like, the highest voted, agreed upon one. I don't know. Olsen's queen in the MCU. I'm very excited. I hope she gets a solo movie because if she would have done some of that in a movie, that would have been overall Golden Geek. She was just spectacular. I could argue that's one of the best, if not the best, performance we've ever gotten in the MCU. She had to do so much. So, Kirklin, anything else to add on the Liz Olsen and that vote there?
No, I feel like I was a fan of her, but, like, I didn't know that I was a fan of her until I watched WandaVision, and then it was just it just blew me away. So you know.
Wanda in the chat, please.
What'd you say?
Nothing. You move.
Oh. Okay. just making sure I didn't miss anything.
What'd you call me?
Best Actress: Thomasin McKenzie in Last Night in Soho, Margot Robbie in Suicide Squad, Lea Seydoux in No Time to Die, Annabelle Wallis in Malignant, and Emma Stone in Cruella. This was a big one for Thomasin McKenzie because she got the most agreed upon votes. She got the highest percentage. Golden Geek 61%. Me, Kirklin, and Dylan all agreed. Taylor threw it with Cruella, who was not alone. 30%. She was second place, and then Robbie got 9. I'd have to go back. Do you guys remember when we did the Golden Geeks a few years ago? we nominated her for Birds of Prey and Elizabeth Moss for Invisible Woman or Invisible Man. I have to go back and see who won that. For some reason, I thought Robbie won that as well. And if she did, I usually have stats. I was bad. I think this might be the first time Robbie's actually lost the award because usually anytime she's in Best Actress. So
That sounds correct. Yeah.
she's been dethroned by the
Yeah.
newcomer. Thomas McKenzie. I was just watching the movie Power of Dog the other day. She popped up and I can't wait to see what she does for many years to come. And I think if she's in more movies kind of like that or in our wheelhouse, you'll probably see her in this category and just like Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I'm excited to see more of her going forward. Shane, I watched the King movie on Netflix with Timothée Chalamet, and she was in it, which was kind of surprising. She's an actress now that when I see her in things, I get excited because she's just such a great talent, and she's very. I feel like she's just a likable character whenever she's in stuff. I'm kind of rooting for her. She was in Jojo Rabbit. I also saw that for the first time this year, and she was just absolutely fantastic in that. And yeah, no, she's great.
Dilmas, any thoughts on Miss McKenzie?
That was an easy vote for me. I
Yeah.
don't think there was really much else competition there.
Boom. Taylor, any shouts to Emma Stone you want to say? That was your vote?
Yeah, she's just absolutely legendary with those dogs and just great in the movie.
Those dogs.
With those dogs. Okay. Best actor in the MCU. Paul Bettany for WandaVision, Tom Holland for Spider-Man No Way Home, and Tom Hiddleston for Loki. The two Toms were very close, but Tom Holland took this one home with 57%, Tom Hiddleston 35%, and Paul Bettany again 1 vote, which led him to 8%. So there you go. And then the best actor, Dev Patel in The Green Knight, Daniel Craig in No Time to Die, Tom Holland Spider-Man No Way Home, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II as Candyman, and Timothée Chalamet as Paul in Dune. So I'm going to go as a little reverse where Timothée Chalamet, Goose Egg, 0 votes. You had Dev Patel, you had Yahya up there with 15% in 4th place. You had Dev Patel in 3rd place at 25%. And then you had Tom and Daniel Craig tied at 30%. So Dylan Musk, because you voted for Yahya, you get to be the deciding factor between Tom Holland, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Daniel Craig in No Time to Die. This has happened a few times, but this is the only category it happened in this year as far as tie. Everything else was like a couple votes, but there's no ties. Both Tom and Daniel Craig tied at 30%. So you get to do the casting vote of who's taking it home.
It's funny that this is the one because when I sent Travis my list, this is the one category I'm like, after I sent my list, I'm like, how much time do I have to decide? Because this is the one category I'm not really sure. And for me, it was honestly just because it was a 5-way split. Like I just kind of picked Yahya, and it honestly, I could have picked anyone else in that moment. I think it would have just stuck because they were all so close and all such different performances in my mind.
That's why I laugh when you send me that. I was like, oh boy, it depends where he
Yeah.
changes it. He could change
And
what's
even
going
though I
on.
wasn't a huge Bond fan, I was like, man, I think I might go Daniel Craig, and then I'm back over to Tom Holland. So this is tricky. I'm gonna go with Tom Holland. I think it's the easy one, or maybe it's the safe bet. But I have been thinking about this a lot, and then I wasn't gonna change my vote. I was happy with it, but I now that I get to pick another one, I'll pick Tom Holland.
Tom
Very
Holland.
close though, very close.
Yeah, he's been nominated, I think, 2 times for Spider-Man. This is the first win for him here at the Golden Geeks. Taylor, you also voted for Tom. Why did you throw your vote to Mr. Holland?
Well, I mean, the evidence is there. It's just a fantastic film, so.
The evidence is there. Yeah, there could be, like, maybe it's a sentimental pick that I picked Craig, but honestly, I went back and forth between Craig and Dev Patel just because I thought they had a bit more strong performances than the other ones. But I agree with Dylan that were all great. Tom Holland, that was his best Spider-Man movie, but Daniel Craig just, especially once they introduced the kid, and I think we talked about it before, I didn't vote for it for best scene, but the goodbye that he has to do over the phone, again, that could, in the hands of many other actors, where it's like, okay, you're gonna say goodbye to your lover and kid, but they're not on screen. You're just alone on the camera. That could be very hollow and do nothing, but I think he was fantastic in that role. And who knows, maybe we'll see him again next year for Knives Out too, because he'll be leading that, and that'll be back. So, Kirklin, you're with me as well, throwing out some Craig love.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said. I was actually in between him and Dev Patel as well, funny enough. But I had the vote.
We should have
for,
shifted. We should have shifted. We could have got Dev in there.
Yeah, we like I had the vote earlier for visuals for Green Knight. I didn't have anything for No Time to Die, and that was such a phenomenal movie. It's always unfortunate when a really good movie just gets overshadowed by just other phenomenal movies. And yeah, no, Daniel Craig's last performance, I think he really, really brought it. And I don't want to just repeat everything that Travis said, but like the stuff with the daughter when she was introduced and just his just man, he was phenomenal in that.
Yeah.
Go watch it if you haven't seen it.
Last 4 awards. Here we go. So most anticipated before we do our best film for each of them. Most anticipated for the MCU. The nominees were Moon Knight, Doctor Strange, and Multiverse Madness, and Thor: Love and Thunder. Strange took this one with a big 90% or 91%. I was the lone Moon Knight vote. Obviously, that's just because I'm a massive Moon Knight fan, so I was going that way. Taylor and Kirkland, rest of patrons, you were going with Strange. So you guys happy with that pick? May, it's
Yes.
coming up. Yes.
I'm very content.
And then in the most anticipated for overall was The Batman, Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder, Lightyear, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Thor: Love and Thunder, which Kirkland and Taylor fought very hard for, got 0 votes, so I'm glad we put that in there. Lightyear and Spider-Verse Across... I hate that title. Spider-Verse 2 is what I'm just going to fucking call it. They both tied with 8% in about 4th or 3rd place. The Batman coming in at second with 34%. Strange with 50% being the most anticipated movie this year. Obviously, this happened with Black Panther a few years ago, too. It's always tough when the movie's already out because it's like, well, you know, so next year I'll try and get that out sooner. But we usually don't always have like a big movie. But Kirkland and I, we did Batman. I think you can go check out our Batman review. It all worked out. And then Dylan and Taylor, Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Did the patrons vote after Batman was out as well? For
Yes.
this?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a Travis bad. That was I was like, I should have had this pull out a little sooner than I did because I like to.
It's the least important category.
It is, yeah,
probably, so
yeah. That's why I always forget about it. I always put it last because in my mind it's like, oh, it's what's coming next year. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna
Taylor?
avoid all these votes now. This seems all fraudulent. This whole system.
Okay, so you want
I
to take
would've
the
voted
win away
for,
from Doctor Strange?
Still.
Nope,
I-
Doctor
I
Strange,
would've, so.
fair and square. He's up there.
So there you go. Shout out to the 1% vote Lightyear. I'm happy for you because I'm with you, but I couldn't get the vote.
Do we have
And
a
here
name?
we go.
Do we know who voted that 1%? Just a patron?
All confidential.
Oh, of course.
That's what happens on the Patreon.
Okay.
So let's do the 2 biggest awards for both events. The MCU Best Overall Project. So we just decide, not a film, not a TV show. You can include whatever you want. Loki, Spider-Man No Way Home, and WandaVision. Not a big surprise, but No Way Home took this home with 68%, WandaVision with 26%, and Loki with 6%. All great. This is much like the Best Actor one, where I could have gone either way, but Spider-Man just had that extra je ne sais quoi that I had to give it to it. And Kirkland, Taylor, you were the same as me, along with most of our patrons.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm excited for Loki now. I didn't know it was
yeah.
that good, so I'm quite excited.
Oh yeah, Loki's phenomenal. If Spider-Man No Way Home didn't come out, Loki had my vote for the
Ooh.
number 1. So yeah, same thing. Because I know Kirkland, you were WandaVision. Taylor, where would you have
Yeah.
been? WandaVision or Loki if Spider-Man No Way Home didn't come out?
Oh God, Loki, true and true. Holy fuck,
Come on,
that show
Sylvia
is
was in
good.
there.
True and true.
Prophet of truth over here.
And then Best Film nominees for Golden Geeks 2022. Our final award: Dune, Last Night in Soho, Malignant, Raya and the Last Dragon, Spider-Man No Way Home. So with both tied for last place, sorry. Raya and Soho, 0 votes for those ones, unfortunately.
Okay, Malignant's up there. I'm surprised.
Malignant with 11% in 3rd place. And the winner for Best Film is No Way Home with 60%.
Yeah.
Dune taking it at 29%. This one was tough for me, and I replayed this in my head because I still do this going back to the 2020 Golden Geeks where it was Joker and Endgame, and I went back and forth all the time. And there's so many times I wake up in a dead heat of night being like, I should have voted for Endgame. Even now, I go, I should have voted for Endgame. And then the next day I'll go, oh, I should have voted for Joker. So in 2019, when I cast my vote, I went the more artsy. I chose Joker, and that ended up winning. I did the reverse here, and maybe it's because I know we have Dune Part 2 coming up, so I'm like, you know what? I might throw it there. But I do think 100% Dune is the better movie, but it's the island example of if I'm on island, if you could only pick one, which you taking? And I'm taking No Way Home. It has my heart, you know? Dune has my brain, but No Way Home has my heart. So that's where my vote went for. Taylor and Kirkland, you were the same for No Way Home.
Yeah, I mean, go check out the review. I gave Dune a 9.5, I think. And Spider-Man was an easy 10. No, it is nostalgia. It's a powerful thing, so I couldn't really give Dune over that. And yeah, as you mentioned, we're getting another Dune. I'm not getting another first time having Toby in the MCU.
Yeah, the evidence was there. So
Talk like a lawyer.
Yeah, every time the product's there. Dylan, you voted with a bunch of other patrons. I'm excited for next After 9 because I know a few. I know Clay, Cocktail Clay is gonna be pissed because that's like one of his favorite movies and stuff. So I'm excited next After 9 because I
Dune
feel
is his favorite. You mean?
yeah. Dune is his favorite. So I feel like next After 9 there's gonna be a few people a little salty about that one. But you threw it on the big D. Why'd your vote go that way?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you just look at the other categories, I voted for in visuals, in music for Rebecca Ferguson. I forget what else, but I mean, even on the nominees, like every category, I was shouting out Dune in some way or
Yeah.
another. Just one of the most immersive movies, just world building beyond belief. A movie that as soon as it finished, I was just all over the wiki page, just trying to learn as much as I could because I just was so in love with this world. So. Yeah, I think Spider-Man is maybe the heart pick, but Dune is the brain pick, I feel like, for me in this case. But I love Dune as well. I just can't wait for that sequel. So, yeah, for me, honestly, that was a pretty easy vote, as much as I love these other movies. But, yeah, it was a great year for movies, but Dune easily triumphed the competition.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Again, thank you to all the patrons that voted and put your input in. It's always fun because we kind of get a semblance of, I feel like we know which way we're going. So once the patrons get in there, it's kind of a wild card and everything like that.
I figured
so.
that No Way Home was kind of locked in. So
Yeah. But all I can hope for is next year we have as good as year this year. Because just even looking at, we talked about before, that best film category, man, just a bunch of any of those films, Malignant, Soho, like to be could have won in some years. And it's just, I love when we get that year of just like so many strong performances, so much strong that. So I love that we're back to the full-time thing. We already got the Batman this year. We got lots more movies coming up. So it's going to be a fun one next year. Gentlemen, thank you as always for watching movies, putting in time to the thoughts and things like that and casting your votes because the evidence is there, right, Taylor?
the evidence is always there.
The evidence is always there. You guys... man.
I was just gonna say I hope there's like a sleeper pick this year, like Malignant was. Malignant was the type of movie.
Morbius.
I'm saying that next week. Okay. God, I think it's gonna show up somewhere. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Evidence is there.
Yeah, no, I think you'll get some A24. I hope, and that's why, like, it hurts me. Like, I vote for No Way Home, and I would say though, if No Way Home didn't come out, I still might have even gone Soho because I think Soho is one of my favorite movies of all time. So it's great year. So that's the Golden Geeks. We are all done for this year. So we'll be back next year, come February, dishing out those Golden Geeks. So get ready, get those letter boxes prepped, and we'll be waiting. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I promise to hear from us next. Not be boring.